Hello, game theorists. So let's talk about the Ultimatum game that we just played in class. So it's a sequential game, so we can analyze it with a game tree. The proposer moves first and decides how they want to suggest a way to divide the $10. Now, the full tree would have a lot of branches, so to keep things simple, I'll just focus on the two that get the most attention. The proposer could offer a 9-1 split or a 5-5 split. Again, there are more options, but keep things simple. I'm just going to talk about these two. The responder then decides what they want to do. They can accept or reject. So I'll use A for accept and R for reject. And the payoffs, let's put the payoffs as proposer first, then responder. So if 9-1 gets accepted, then proposer gets 9, responder gets 1. We've said if the offer is rejected, then both players get 0. So now we can do our rollback analysis. Go to the end of the game, decide what the players want to do from there, and then work your way back. If we're here, responder could get 5 by accepting or 0 from rejecting, so accepting sounds better. If we're here, responder whose payoffs are on the bottom gets 1 from playing accept, 0 from playing reject. 1's better than nothing, so accept. The proposer realizes all this and sees that if they offer 9-1, it'll get accepted, and proposer, whose payoffs are on top, will get 9. That's better than getting just 5. So based on this analysis, the proposer should offer 9-1 and responder should accept. Now, if you play this game in a laboratory, that's often not what happens. Actually, when you guys played this game in class, a couple of 9-1 offers did get rejected. Possibly because the proposers feared rejection, a couple of teams preferred to offer 5-5 instead. So, is game theory just wrong? A lot of articles would use examples like this to make that case. I would disagree. So, I mentioned this earlier, but a lot of times when the predictions of game theory appear to not match up with the data, it's usually because not that game theory is being wrong, but rather that the payoffs are being misspecified. This is all based on the players caring just about money. So if money is your only concern, then yeah, if you're a responder, you'd rather accept and get $1 than reject and get 0. Now, we know, of course, that people don't care solely about money. They also care about a lot of other things. Perhaps the responder could also care about fairness. And when they see a 9-1 offer, it just seems so extremely unfair to them that they'd rather say no and get 0 than tolerate such inequity. Now, if the proposer is aware of this, if the proposer thinks the responder might care about fairness, the proposer could rationally decide not to offer 9-1. A proposal of 5-5 could be quite rational if you have legitimate fear of being rejected. So, just to show this idea more concretely, let's say that the responder's payoffs also are based on fairness. So they care about money, but they think an offer is really unfair. Maybe they lose 3 in their payoff. They care about fairness that much. If it's a fair offer, then their payoff is the money. So that would change our game. Here's what that would look like. So we have our proposer up here, who's offering either 9-1 or 5-5, keeping that simplified setup. Accept or reject. So if the responder accepts the unfair offer, proposer gets the money they care about, which is 9, but the responder gets $1 minus 3 because they think that's very unfair, so they get a payoff of -2. So in this responder's view, accepting an unfair offer is just as bad as losing $3. That's how they quantify their concerns about fairness. If they reject, both players get 0. The responder thinks that's fair, so their payoff is just the money in that case. So here it's 5-5. That seems fair, so responder's payoff is just the money in that case, 5. If they reject, both players get 0, and that seems fair as well, so responder's payoff is the money. So in this game here, the payoffs reflect the responder's attitudes about fairness. The rollback solution is going to be different. So at this node here, responder still wants to play accept and get 5 rather than get 0. At this node, though, the responder likes getting $1, but they really don't like the unfairness. And they dislike that unfairness so much that they'd rather say no and get nothing than tolerate such an uneven offer. Consequently, the proposer realizes that offering 9-1s is going to lead to rejection, so they're better off offering 5-5. So you might see some social science journalism articles saying that in the real world, people care about fairness, so game theory is just wrong. That is nonsense. Payoffs can reflect more than just money, and these apparent contradictions come from the payoffs being oversimplified. If you set the payoffs correctly like you do here, then there is no contradiction. So that's how the ultimatum game works. So that's all we have for this in-class game. Be sure to join us for our next episode, and we'll talk more about the next in-class game. Take care.